Right, let's have a look at this question from 2012. So the Junior Cert Stats question on that one was as follows. The pie chart shows how Mary spends her time over a typical 24-hour period. Copy and complete the following table into your answer book. Okay, so don't need this bit too much. Back in the day, you didn't have room to answer your questions. You had a separate answer book. So basically fill in the table. So this is a pie chart, and a pie chart is given in degrees. And from that, they want you to work out how many hours did Mary spend sleeping, at school, doing homework, eating meals, and then her leisure time. Okay, so in the last question we did a pie chart. We designed the pie chart. This one is they're giving you a pie chart and you have to fill in the table. So it's kind of like backwards to the last one. Okay, so if you remember a pie chart, okay, or any circle adds up to 360 degrees. Okay, so if I pick sleeping in this case, I see that the angle for sleeping is 120 degrees. So I ask myself, what fraction of the pie chart is that? Okay, or the full pie is that? So that's why I have it over 360 degrees. And it's the same fraction of the 24-hour period that I'd like to get. So this works out to 12, 24, 36, a third. So I'd like to get a third of the 24 hours. Okay, so I get 8 hours for that. So the number 8 goes down here. School. So that's 90 degrees out of the 360. And again, I multiply it by the 24 hours. And that'll end up being 6 hours. So 6 goes in here. Homework is 45 degrees over the 360, multiplied by the total, which is 24 hours. Pop that one into my calculator. And I'm getting 3 hours for that one. Meals. Oh, meals, I have no percentage or no degrees. So how do I work it out? Okay, well, I add up all the degrees that I have in my pie chart and I subtract it from 360, because obviously I have all of the rest of the angles. So whatever is left over must be this angle here. And it's quite small. It looks smaller than 45 degrees. So I'm just using that as a guide. So I got 330 degrees for that. So 360 degrees minus that 330 degrees is 30 degrees. Okay, so therefore meals is that 30 degrees over 360 degrees multiplied by 24. So 30 over 360 multiplied by 24 works out to be 2 hours. Okay, and I'll just come over here to work out leisure. That is 75 degrees over 360 degrees multiplied by the 24 hours. And I'm getting 5 hours for that. Okay, so then just to check, I'm adding up 8 hours, which was sleeping and school and homework and meals and leisure, and I'm seeing, do I get my 24 hours in the day? So 8 and 6 is 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, and 5 is indeed equal to 24 hours. So I'm confident now in my table. So that's how you do part A, okay? If I was to work out the percentages, okay, so this is how I got my 8 hours. If I was going the other way, if they gave me the table, I would do 8 hours out of the 24, multiply by 360 degrees. Okay, so it just depends which way you're going. Part B. The table below shows the results of a survey of the amount of money in euro that 150 people spent in a supermarket. So we have amounts and number of people. And don't forget the key, 10 to 15, for example, means 10 or more, but less than 15. So in other words, if they spent 15, they would be in this category here, not in this one. Taking mid-interval values, calculate the mean amount of money spent in the supermarket. Okay, so mean is the average. Okay, so you add them all up and you divide by the number of numbers. Okay, so let's have a look at mid-interval values. So mid-interval values between 0 and 10 would be 5. Mid-interval values between 10 and 15 would be 12.5. It's the halfway point between them. 15 to 20 would be 17.5. 20 to 30 would be 25. 30 to 50 would be 40. Okay, and if you can't work that out in your head, what you do is you go 30 plus 50, so you go the two extremes and you divide by 2. Okay, in this one you could have gone 15 plus 20 divided by 2, and that will always give you your mid-interval values. So I have 15 people that spent €5 or about €5, 30 people that spent €12.5, 50 that spent 17.5, 45 that spent 25, and 10 that spent 40. Okay, so because we don't know the exact values that these people spent, we know it's somewhere between 30 and 50, we use the mid-interval value as an estimate of in and around what did they spend. So somewhere around 40. So the mid value in that range. Okay, so how do we get mean? Well, we add them all up. So I have that €5 in the first one. I'm doing this one first. And I have 15 people that spent that. Okay, so this is the bit that's different when it's a grouped frequency table. I have 12.50 in the second column, and I have 30 people that spent that. 17.50 in the third column, and 50 people that spent that. I have €25 in the fourth column and 45 people that spent that. And then, of course, €40 in the last column and 10 people that spent that. All over, how many people did I have? 150. Okay, and you would have got the 150 either from going 15 plus 30 plus 50 plus 45 plus 10 is 150. Okay, that is the amount of people who were surveyed. Okay, be careful. The big mistake is people put the number 5 down there because it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 ranges of people. So it's not 5 people that were asked. The number of people asked was 150. Okay, so let's put that into our calculator. And it's very easy to make mistakes when you put something this big into a calculator. So 5 by 15 is 75 plus 12 by 50 by 30 is 375 plus 1750 by 50 is 875 plus, where am I, 25 by 45 is 1125 plus 40 by 10 is 400, all over 150. Okay, so let's add them up and divide by 150. I'll do all together here now, plus 375 plus 875 plus 1125 plus 400, all over 150. And I'm getting €19 for the mean value spent. So I'm having a look now at my data, and €19 falls in here, which is around the center of my data. I have 45 people down this end. I have 55 people up this end, and it's up the upper end of this scale. So 19 does feel right. So I'm happy with that one. So that's that first bit, taking the mid-interval values, calculate the mean amount of money spent. Okay, I'm just going to copy the question now because I need more space. I'll just paste them on here. Okay, so our mean value we worked out to be 19 euros. So part 2, calculate the maximum percentage of the people who could have spent between 5 euros less than the mean and 5 euros more than the mean. Calculate the maximum percentage of the people who could have spent between 5 euros less than mean. So 5 euros less than mean is 19 minus 5, which is 14 euros. Okay, and 5 euros more than the mean is 19 plus 5 equal to 24 euros. Okay, so calculate the maximum percentage of people who could be between 14 to 24. Okay, so how many people? Well, where's 14? 14 lies there. Now you see those 30 people? In theory, all of those 30 people could have spent 14 euros. Okay, because we don't know. So we've all those 30 people that's in that 10 to 15 range. Okay, 15 to 20 also falls between 14 to 24. And of course, 20 to 30 also falls between this, or at least some of it. And when you have these 30 people, they could be 10 euros, they could be 11, 12, 13, or 14. They're not 15 because the key said 10 to 15 means 10 or more, but less than 15. So these 30 people spent either 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. So it said the maximum number. So that's why we can include all 30 people here and go, well, they could have all spent 14 euros. We'd include all the people here in this category, which would be those 50 people. And then 20 to 30 up here, these 45 people. Well, again, in theory, these 45 people could have spent 20, 21, 22, 23, or 24. So they could, in theory, fall within this category. Okay, so let's add these ones up. 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, what's that? 125 people. And then as a percentage, it's 125 people out of the total 150 people, which is all of these numbers added up, multiplied by 100 over 1 to change it to a percentage. So 125 over 150 multiplied by 100 over 1. So I'm getting 83.3% for that one, or 83.3333 if you hit S to D again. So that's the maximum percentage of people who could have spent 5 euros less or more than the mean. That was that question.